This one still hits hard. I can replay the exact moment everything in my life flipped upside down. My phone buzzed on the kitchen counter. When I glanced over, her name lit up the screen, Leah. My wife of 7 years. The woman I truly believed I understood better than anyone else. She'd sent me a message that made my whole chest tighten. Heading out on a trip with my boss. Don't wait up. At first, I let out this awkward, confused laugh, assuming she was joking. Leah loved sending bizarre little messages just to throw me off and keep things light. But something about this one was different. Too blunt. Too flat. Too unlike her. 10 minutes later, that uneasy twist in my stomach told me this wasn't something to dismiss. That was the exact moment the dominoes began to fall. One disaster knocking into the next. We met in college. She was a spark, bright eyes, wild curls, a laugh that carried across the courtyard. I was the opposite. Quiet, clumsy, loyal to a fault. Somehow, we just balanced each other out. We fit. Our marriage was steady, predictable, comfortable. And I loved that. I loved believing I knew every inch of her world. That single text shattered all of it. I called her. No answer. I texted, "Are you okay? Where are you going?" Still nothing. Time dragged painfully until an unknown number lit up my screen. "Theo, stop looking for her. She's about to make a huge mistake." My stomach dropped. Leah didn't hand out her number. Ever. Something about the message felt cold, unsettling, like a warning from someone who knew too much. I tried to convince myself I was overthinking. Maybe it truly was just a boring work trip. So I made coffee, sat at the kitchen table, tried to distract myself. By the time she finally walked in that night, the whole house felt different. The air itself felt wrong. She barely said a word. Her hair was pulled back neatly, and she wouldn't meet my eyes. Trying to keep things normal, I asked, "How was the trip?" She lifted her head just long enough to say, "Theo, I think we need some space." I froze. Space. After one day. The words slammed into me like a steel door. I wanted to demand answers, to yell, to break something. But the part of me that still adored her held all of that back. So I nodded. Pretended it made sense. Pretended I was fine. The next few days were a blur. She acted normal. Cooking, smiling occasionally, but her distance screamed louder than anything. Her phone never left her hand. She whispered into it, smiling at messages I would never see. My instincts wouldn't quiet down. So one night, I opened her laptop. What I found nearly knocked the breath out of me. Hundreds of emails. Secret plans. Hidden conversations between her and her boss, Mr. Darcy. And none of them were about work. They were flirty, intimate, bold. The trip she mentioned? Not a business trip. A lie. A carefully organized getaway. I didn't confront her immediately. I needed everything. Proof. Details. The full scope. Over the next week, I gathered it all. Hotel receipts, private messages, reservations. Enough to confirm the truth I desperately hoped wasn't real. The woman I loved and trusted had orchestrated a betrayal so calculated it felt unreal. This wasn't just cheating. It was the deception. The strategy. The way she smiled at me while building the exact moment she planned to break us. It crushed me. I realized I'd been sharing a life with a stranger. Then came the day everything truly snapped. I came home early from work. Something in my gut told me to. The front door was cracked open. I stepped inside, and there they were. Leah and Mr. Darcy. Caught in the act. They froze. I froze. The only sound was the hum of the AC filling the silence. I didn't yell. Didn't cry. Didn't say a word. I just stood there, heart slamming in my chest, my mind spiraling. Then quietly, I grabbed my coat, picked up my keys, and walked out before I shattered. Within 10 minutes, I had called my lawyer, my sister Mara, and my best friend Hugo. Everything after that was fast, controlled, precise, because she had crossed a line she couldn't undo. When I came back, the house felt hollow. She was gone. He was gone. But she had left a note. "You never understood me, Theo. You never have." I held that piece of paper, hands shaking. Not from fear, but a mix of anger, heartbreak, and finally clarity. This wasn't the woman I married. This was someone who had used me to build a lie. The fallout came quickly, emotionally, financially, legally. She had no idea how strong my resolve could be. I filed for separation. Locked every account. Changed every password. My family and friends rallied around me. Her life, on the other hand, crumbled. Her career took a hit when the affair came out. Her reputation collapsed. And the man she risked everything for? He walked away the moment things got complicated. Weeks passed. Slowly, I began stitching myself back together. The betrayal lingered, heavy in every familiar room. But little by little, I felt lighter, freer. I picked up the hobbies I had abandoned, spent time with people who genuinely cared, even started dating again, slowly, cautiously, with a clearer sense of who I was. The lesson was brutal, but undeniable. Trust can fall apart in seconds. Rebuilding yourself takes time, but it makes you stronger. Leia's choices, her lies, her manipulation, her betrayal, destroyed everything she once valued. But they pushed me toward something priceless. Self-respect. Standing up for myself wasn't revenge. It was survival. Now, when I look in the mirror, I don't see a broken man. I see someone who survived. Someone who learned that love means nothing without respect. And that lies always demand a price. Sometimes the most painful moments aren't just heartbreak. They're the moments that finally set you free. Standing alone in the quiet, I finally breathed again. Leia's choices wrecked her own world. But in the wreckage, they gave me something I should have had all along. The truth, the strength to keep going, and a life no longer built on lies.